If you have a masturbation habit that you deem harmless, well, you might be shocked to find out that there's 10 reasons that masturbation may be very harmful to you and others in your life. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh, brain health and sex addiction recovery coach. Let's break down those 10 reasons right now. Number one has to do with erectile dysfunction. You've probably heard of PIED or porn-induced erectile dysfunction. So if you're leaving pornography behind, but you still have a masturbation habit, you might not understand that it's very similar to the mechanisms behind PIED. With your masturbation habit, you flood your nervous system in your brain with dopamine at high levels. This dopamine makes you feel good in the moment, which is the point, but ultimately it leaves you in a dopamine deficit state. It also shifts the electrical energy pattern in your brain to what I call artificial neutral. And if you're stuck in artificial neutral and your brain is flooded with dopamine, it's difficult to become aroused. Thus, ED and SAD, sexual arousal dysfunction of all kinds, results. So, number one, your masturbation habit might be leading to sexual arousal dysfunction. Number two, if you struggle with genital numbness, we know that a masturbation habit can contribute to this. So, with that high level of physical stimulation from masturbation and the high level of mental stimulation from fantasy, you may be desensitizing your brain and the nerve endings in your genitals. So, this becomes a neurological difficulty or disorder on both ends of the spectrum, from the top down, from your brain down to your genitals, and down at your genitals by themselves. But ultimately, if you struggle with numbness, your masturbation habit is contributing. Number three, do you feel depleted levels of energy or do you feel exhausted and fatigued? Well, your masturbation habit leaves you in a dopamine deficit state. This can drain you and contribute to brain fog. It can make you feel depleted and make you feel fatigued. I can see people's brains in a QEEG brain map evaluation. It's the assessment when I work with people. I work with thousands of people who are giving up masturbation because they understand these little known facts. And fatigue is something that they come back from very easily. Many people I work with are also very concerned about their testosterone levels, and for good reason. There's scientific studies that show that after a masturbation session, your brain is in a depleted state of dopamine, like I've already told you. Well, this depletion also contributes to a depletion in testosterone. So testosterone levels go down with a masturbation session. And if you're compulsively or consistently masturbating, you might be depleting your testosterone, changing ultimately those baseline levels. By frequently returning to masturbation, you may also be causing chronic pelvic pain. So, by consistently ejaculating more than you would with a healthy sexual relationship, you can create something called prostatitis. And prostatitis, what it does is it's basically going along with that depletion, but now at a physical level also. It can lead to pain, especially if you're aggressively masturbating. Now, all of that can contribute to feelings of guilt and shame. This can weigh on you heavily in terms of your mental health. So, we know there's physical and mental implications of a masturbation habit. This can lead to changes in your emotional volatility, your emotional regulation skills, and your well being overall. So, you might not understand that all of that impact on your brain may affect the way that you interact with others and your mental health. We know there's an increase in depression, an increase in anxiety, especially social anxiety, due to these dysfunctional brain patterns that result from consistent porn use or specifically masturbation. So then, when it's time to relate to other people, it can come between your ability to be able to do that in a healthy way, to be able to build healthy intimacy. Also, these changes in your brain performance pattern can lead to disruptions in sleep. Many people use masturbation as kind of a sleep aid because we know just following masturbation, the relaxation hormones will flood your system, making you feel more relaxed. But it leads to a dopamine deficit state a little while later, like I've already shared. And then that means in the middle of the night, you wake up. So your masturbation habit may help you fall asleep, but help you stay asleep? I don't think so. Then we know that This can all impact the way you perceive and approach your life and your day to day routine. So, your relationships may become strained. We know that when porn and masturbation are in the mix, relationships struggle. There may be more anger and irritability because your brain's up and down, going sideways. We know that your ability to relate with other people, it's kind of the secondhand smoke of a secret sex life that includes chronic masturbation. Now, chronic masturbation ultimately is a compulsion. One step up from compulsion is addiction. It starts like this: first, there's use, then there's misuse, then there's abuse, then there's compulsion, then there's addiction. So, if you want to know if you have a masturbation compulsion, just try to stop. If you can't stop, that means you have urges and cravings for the high levels of dopamine from your masturbation habit. So you might look online and you might see other professionals say masturbation is healthy. That is true in moderation for people who don't have a compulsive masturbation habit. So in my world, it's for people who have never consumed pornography, high levels of dopamine, and they've never coupled masturbation to pornography as a dopamine dependency behavioral addiction. Now, if you fall into that category, it's different for you. It becomes compulsive masturbation when you need it. If you need it because of urges and cravings, it's time to rethink if masturbation is harmless for you, or indeed, if all of the things that I just listed may be harming you and your life. If you're looking for help on the journey, please go over to drtrishleigh.com. I offer a digital program that you can get into right away. You can use coupon code COMMIT100, commit to quit, drop a red X below, help me help you commit to quit masturbation moving into the new year so you can get on purpose in your work, your hobbies, and your relationships, and you can enjoy your life at levels that you never could have anticipated. If you want personal help, sign up for QEEG Brain Map so I can show you how masturbation has impacted your brain and created dysfunctional levels in different areas of your brain, contributing to those urges and cravings and the dependency back to masturbation. Then, if you're ready, I offer a top tier program to help you rewire your brain back to healthy sexuality and to reset those pleasure pathways back into your life. So visit drtrishleigh.com. And as always, control your brain or it'll control you.